Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy X-2. Last time we got some blue magic and we started Creature Creator for the first time since Chapter 1, really. And this time the episode is entirely Creature Creator. I have no idea how much we're going to accomplish today, but let's start working on it. If you're not interested in any of this, skip till tomorrow. We hopefully will get back on track. Monsters I have, the ones that I picked up in the previous episode, I have leveled them all up 5 times. I have also, the thing is in battle, depending on spells used against them or actions used in battle that they're in, they learn new abilities. I don't know huge amounts of details on this. However, what I've done is I use the Flame Dragon to take out all 4 levels of, let's see here, of the standard cup hard. And in doing so, I'm going to go over at the rewards that you get. First time, Power Wrist. Second time, Tarot Cards. Third, Defense Veil. Fourth, Mithril Gloves. Fifth, Mithril Banjal. Sixth time, Gold Bracer. Seventh time, Hyper Wrist. And the 8th time is a Talisman. Any other ones that you can get, it just cycles through 5 through 8. So the Banjal, the Bracer, the Hyper Wrist, and the Talisman. I have not gone on to the Grand Cup yet, but I found another way of kind of leveling up the other ones, and I'll go into that momentarily. First thing, when I was really trying to level these guys up, I went to the Mihan High Road. It's like, I can get some decent experience there. The only thing that happened there that worked out really well is I learned Fire Eater, at least I think I did, for the Flame Dragon. I'm not sure if he was immune to it before, but either way, I went there and I learned some stuff, maybe Kiraga or something like that, I can't remember. But I went there and I got that. There is one specific enemy in the Standard Cup Hard when you're using this guy by himself that he has trouble with, and the battle can take 15 minutes to 20 minutes with 4 times fast forward on if things go poorly for you. That is against an Adamant Tortoise. Now, 2 ways of dealing with this. If you have Fire Eater, then he cannot kill you if you have High Road Winds on and he casts Hayate. Hayate basically increases your evasion enough that the Adamant Tortoise cannot physically attack you, or at least I never saw it in all the time that I had the thing on. The other option is to choose a different garment grid, the White Signet. I didn't actually use this one myself, but basically instead of having the evasion and the guarantee that you'll be alive, you can instead cast Holy instead and deal at least some amount of damage to the enemy. You could use other garment grids as well. Certain ones give you, like at least technically susceptible to Zantetsu, which I believe is an instant death type attack, but it's its own status effect. I tried it, it never worked for me, so I gave up on it. Let's see what else. You can use other things. I think Figure Snap ignores defense, or one of the abilities we can get somewhere around here ignores defense. I don't remember which one it is. Yeah, I don't remember. Sparkler might? There's another one. I know, I was using it for a while. Where is it? Okay, never mind. It's an ability that comes from an accessory. Sorry, I'm forgetting where I am here. So anyway, yeah, I basically set him up, and the other thing you're going to want to do when boosting him up is give him something to increase his HP, because he's going to need it by himself. There's actually an enemy around here. They have natural break HP limit, by the way. There's an enemy that can deal 9,999 to the Flame Dragon, so you'll want that if you want to survive with him by himself. If you don't plan on using him, that's fine. Basically, I want to do the rest of the cups with Fiends, since I don't want to overlevel my characters, which I want to use for the main plot of the game. So that's how we got him up to level. The other guys, I found a really good setup that works for me. Certain enemies seem to be susceptible to telekinesis, which is instant death. It just basically inflicts the eject status and ejects them from battle. That works against the ones I was attacking. Having this allows you to use Holy, which is also very nice. Over here, I just set this one up for Absorb and half MP cost. Basically, this one just kept me alive. And then with my party of 3 small characters, this was the third one, also gave you Absorb. and Psychic, so I had more chance of using instant death. The Crystal Banjo is much better than we were able to get, and the way I got the Crystal Banjo is from fighting the Machina Panzer enemy. It can drop Crystal Banjos. I got 3 of them. They're a little bit broken for the main storyline. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it yet, beyond kind of in here. Next, let's go over here.
I know.
You know nothing. My brain does not work today. I'm constantly finding that I can't figure things out. You can go into the tournaments and you can fight battles in the tournaments. As you can see, I won 8 of the brackets there. But you were fighting different enemies, so it was hard to set up for each one, and they give varying amounts of experience. The experience you get in the cups is drastically more than on the Mi'ihen High Road or anywhere else in Chapter 3. So if you want to level them up 5 levels, which is what I needed to do for the storyline within Creature Creator, again, has nothing to do with 100% completion of the story in the main game, then you'll want to come here to do it. I haven't done any of the Grand Cups yet, but it's unlocked by beating Standard Cup hard once, I believe. Now, once you have fought some of the enemies in there, the enemies will be available over here in the Battle Simulator. And it shows you, if you look over on the right there, there's a number. If you press over to the right, you can move on to the next list there. And as you can see, the enemies that you fight well, they have a difficulty rating. It shows you which enemies you're actually fighting for each kind of squad. Nope. The best one that I've found is this one, Hellbreeders. And when fighting these guys, it's just demonstrated here. Using this party, it's relatively effective. Again, the enemies move on their own, so there's nothing really that I can do to influence anything. But they kind of fight on their own and do what they need to do. They all have some form of healing. Telekinesis will eliminate these guys from battle. They are susceptible to it, making it a really good choice. Nausea powder, I don't really care for, but it's there. Inflicts some status effects that I don't care about. Anyway, from this fight, you can rarely get sprint shoes and hyper wrists, and I've gotten a few of those as well. Now, the Chocobo could cast Holy, which I would like to show off, or you could do Telekinesis. It's a great way of doing this fight because you get huge amounts of experience for this fight, and that's basically how I leveled these 3 up. The Chocobo, in fact, I don't even think you have to level the Chocobo up, but I did very much the same thing when I was trying to get out of here real quick here. When I was trying to level up one of the other monsters that I captured in the previous episode. Go up to Develop Creature. Basically, it just opens your menu. And let's see here. We can take a look at Deva. I've paired him with the Chocobo in this kind of a setup. Just gave him more HP as far as accessories went. And he doesn't need that. We can have something else. Half MP cost would probably be better. Thanatos Emblem is something I learned in battles in the tournaments or against the enemies that were there. I think it does non-elemental damage, hits everybody. It's actually pretty good. So it's nice to see him have that instead of just Faraga as a way of dealing damage and absorb. But so that's how I've leveled him up. Once you've leveled the Deva up 5 times, that's the first one that we want to release. And the way that releasing goes and the way that the story thing in here goes is you go to this one and then you can select a character. Once you've leveled them up enough times, specifically 5 times, something to do with story completion, I have no idea, you can select release. Now with this particular one, does it dialogue go out? Yeah, dialogue goes automatically. I actually checked this out ahead of time because I wasn't even sure if this was going to work, so I already kind of know what he says. But you need to capture the Deva, which we did from Kilika in the previous episode. And when releasing this particular enemy after leveling it up 5 times, it will change into something else. Oh, spoilers for the non-plot related thing. And this is to do with unlocking a Fiend Cup later on in the game here, or in the alternate cup thing. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure what goes on with the story here. I didn't do this in my test run, so I'm basically going into this kind of blind and learning as I go. So most of it I'll end up doing off screen, just because I think that that'll make sense. I'll do it off screen. I will demonstrate, you know, maybe one battle or two battles here and there, just to show, you know, strategies that I've learned over the course of doing it. I'm not going to go into great amounts of detail trying to learn ridiculous strategies for this, because, like, if you look on YouTube, you can find parties of, you know, like 3 Machina enemies with 99,999 HP attacking, you know, super fast and dealing 99,999 on every hit, and super nuking like every optional boss in this game. You can do that. I would suspect that takes a huge amount of farming and leveling, but anyway, after releasing this guy, he evolved into somebody else. So let's go take a look at him here. Now, I'm not sure if you have to, but I would take the extra step to make sure that they're not equipping anything before that kind of thing happens. I'm going to give you half MP by giving you the, what dress sphere is this one? Hunter? Trainer. Same thing. Let's see here. And I do want to equip you for this. Where are my crystal banjos? At the bottom. I am using them all. Okay. Let's take some... I'm going to leave the chocobo there, but I'm going to remove the stuff off of these other two, the My Toxin guy and this guy, because once you level them up 5 times, you don't need to worry about them anymore. I do know you can only hold a certain amount of fiends at a time. I think the number is 9. Don't quote me on that one. But anyway, actually, I need to go back in there because I need to change party members. And let's put you there. So I have those two. Now I need to level the Akamana guy up to a few more levels. And when I was testing this out a moment ago, I was going to send them into the Grand Cup. And I'm going to take this off. This is what I was thinking. Fireworks is an attack that does ignore defense. If you want to try to put that on, equip Bushido Lore on one of your monsters there. This time, I'm going to give you... Where is it? That's right. That's what happens when you're trying to equip way too many characters. I want my ribbon for the chocobo, since for some reason most fiends have an innate ability to ignore all status effects, or most status effects. Like this one, if you notice on the right there, it has ailment defense. I'm not sure how many statuses it is protected against. It would be, I would guess, the same that they are protected against if you run into them normally throughout the game. Where is my crystal banjo? There it is. So 100%. Charm Banjo. How did I do that? My brain's not working. Where is my crystal banjo? That's the mithril one. There we go. More HP. That's definitely what I want here. And what else should I give you? Do I have anything else good? Okay. After looking around, I kind of decided on the Soul of Thamasa. I think that's a good option. It doubles the damage, doubles the spell cost. However, I have half MP cost, so it kind of balances out to normal. And since I've already got the Absorb ability by default on this monster, then he can get himself more MP whenever he needs it, assuming the AI is smart enough to do that. And the Chocobo here should be set up with additional HP, which is great. And yeah, you've got the telekinesis ability to one-shot enemies, and they both have access to the Holy Spell, which is quite powerful. So anyway, now that I've set them up there, let's go back to the Fiend Arena and see if we can beat the Grand Cup. Again, I will try and demonstrate this once, and hopefully things go well and I don't have to reload and show another battle. When I was testing this a little while ago, I ended up running into an enemy that was immune to magic. these guys are not going to last very long. At least I wouldn't expect them to. Woo, Thundara, scary. Wow, normal attacks killing enemies. Are you going to show off Holy? Yay, we're going to show off Holy. At least here, Holy hits a lot of times and is quite good. And this guy can also use Faraga by default there, though I'm sure you can learn other abilities as well. Those guys fell down quite easily. Depending on which enemies you run into, they can either be really difficult or really hard. For doing the Grand Cup, let's see here. For doing the Standard Cup hard, the items you get, like we just got there, in between rounds is either 2 high potions or 3 high potions. Here in the Grand Cup, it's 1 X potion, 2 X potions, or 2 elixirs. So there's that. And one thing of note, if you have not gotten the Festivalist Dress Sphere, that is the first prize for defeating the Grand Cup. So we may not get anything. Hey, I remember you. Well, I remembered you. You're gone now. Bye-bye. So yeah, there's Absorb in action. Gets some more MP back, and can even deal damage to the enemies. Do note that you're going to get items as you proceed through doing this, so, you know, you get items after battle, you get items in between battles, and, oh god, please no. Oh, things are going to go really bad if that Black Chandelier wins. Oh, things are going to go really, really bad. Yeah. Well, there's Absorb. Chocobo's got it too. I think the Chocobo's got it too. No, I think I took it off. The Chocobo can cast the Cura spell, though. So there's that. Not that it's going to matter if I face that Black Chandelier. And I learned Thanatos Emblem from that somehow. Glad I could show one of those on screen. But Thanatos Emblem is quite good. I'm very glad that I learned that. It's going to make things go quite a bit better here. Yeah, he's got a nice cure spell. You can cure both of us. That's nice. Please tell me I didn't get the Black Chandelier, because that means I lose. And I'll just cut to me winning. Yeah. If it's the one I think it is, I'm screwed. Ambushed. First thing he's going to do, if it's the one I think it is he's going to cast... Oh. Well, that could be bad, too. Yeah, it's gonna hurt. Didn't do what I thought he was going to do, but yeah, it doesn't help when you guys cast things on yourself. I learned Total Limit Break and Flare. This actually isn't half bad. I'll take it. I'm learning a bunch of things. There's Absorb. Get some MP back. Now, unfortunately, every single thing he can do, my guy, is magic-based. Which means I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to have to get something that's not magic-based if I want to beat him. But the thing is, he may not be there next time. So, give me a moment. Yeah, you don't get game over for this. There is one tournament that you actually will get game over if you lose, though. I will mention that when we get there. Alright, so we've got back to the final match, and it's enemies we've seen before, but I'm not too worried about that. We'll just demonstrate this real quick. One thing of note is when you're doing this, if you're playing the Steam version of the game, you can't control anything. So I would highly recommend that you abuse the crap out of fast forward and even throw it on 4 times, because you're not really doing anything, you're just watching them fight. So I would recommend you do that. I got an Altai Grain. That's nice. And normally for doing this we would get the Festivalist Dress Sphere, but because we've already got that one way earlier in the game, we just get a couple of X potions. Chocobo got a Fiend Tail. Okay, we get it anyway. What the hell, game? I already have that. It's not like I can have 2 dress spheres of the same thing. But anyway, I have defeated it there. Now that we've done that, let's go back here. One of the prizes for defeating the Grand Tournament, in fact it's for the 5th one, is 30 remedies. And considering I have 77, I'm going to go sell a bunch. I'm also going to fight a few more battles, and we'll finish off the Grand Tournament here, and hopefully level up our guy a little bit more so we can release him. And for defeating it the next time, we get... 4 Mega Potions. Okay, I guess I'll show part of this fight here, because this guy was the one I was alluding to before. This guy has... he's not immune to magic in terms of in the status area, but he's got a separate ability, if you were to get him yourself, that makes him immune to all elemental attacks, or immune to magic, I think it is. So you can't inflict him with status effects that are magic-based. Now, if my stupid Chocobo will be smart and use telekinesis, I believe he is susceptible to... well, that works on him a little bit. I believe he is susceptible to telekinesis if the Chocobo will use telekinesis on it. And it actually hits. Come on. Otherwise, I think he's got like 14,000 HP, so it's going to take a while, especially with this team. I can heal, so it's not like it's impossible to win, but it's going to take a while. So anyway, if I'm able to demonstrate telekinesis working, I will. If not... okay, I will demonstrate this just because I actually got Holy off before he managed to use Reflect. So there you go. That's, I guess, your way you can beat him. He might be susceptible to telekinesis as well. But anyway, that was the last one on this one. Do note that your HP and MP are restored in between rounds. Get another Fiend Tail bonus, and 4 Mega Phoenixes for defeating the Grand Tournament a 3rd time. And we also unlock Grand Cup Hard. And Chocobo representative Wildbird has entered Grand Cup Hard. Basically, in order to unlock another tournament, we need to have a Chocobo in our party and win that Grand Cup Hard match against the Wildbird. I don't think it shows up every time, but if it does show up and you have a Chocobo in your party and you win, then it'll unlock another tournament. Strange, I know. Okay, there you go. Susceptible to telekinesis. He showed up again, so oh well. And for defeating this the 4th time, another Fiend Tail bonus, and we get 2 elixirs. The Fiend Tail bonus, I'm not exactly sure about. I probably have tons of them for the Chocobo by now. Doesn't really matter. Damn, Chocobo with telekinesis is awesome. The Chocobo is really fast for some reason. He usually gets it off 2 maneuvers before the big guy gets off 1. For whatever reason with the charge time. Giving Chocobo something with auto haste might actually be useful if I had it, but I don't. Or at least not something that doesn't also inflict Berserk. And for defeating it the 5th time, we get 30 remedies. Now, subsequent times we go through there, it'll be either 4 Mega Potions, 4 Mega Phoenixes, 2 Elixirs, or 30 remedies again. It's just random. Pretty much after you've gotten all of the items once, the reward the following time will be random. Alright, so we've taken care of all of the Grand Cup stuff. I don't know if I'm going to be able to accomplish the Grand Cup Hard, but we'll at least show it off here. I'm going to use the same team that I've got now. I don't know if that's going to be a good idea or not, but I do need to level up my my guy there. He's definitely hasn't gained enough levels yet, so let's see. Hopefully we can at least get the first prize here. It shouldn't be too difficult to get. Ow, they do kind of a decent amount of damage, don't they? Chocobo likes casting Holy. Some of the battles it'll just spam Holy over and over again. In other battles it'll spam Telekinesis over and over again. Why did you start with Absorb? You have full HP and MP. Well, you had. Yay! Gotta love when Telekinesis actually works. It is a really effective thing to have in here. I've found it works quite often. And it's a good way of not having to have physical damage when the best we have is the Chocobo doing about 500 damage. With its physical attack, anyway. For the Grand Cup Hard, the items you get in between rounds is either 1 or 2 X potions, so nothing really has changed there, though I don't think you have a chance at getting the elixirs anymore. No biggie. As long as this guy's not immune to Holy, I think we're good. My other guy there, the Aka Mana guy, he has innate not break HP limit, but break damage limit. He uses Flare. He usually does like more than 10,000 damage. There's some Holy. It'd be nice if this tournament went well for me, and then I could demonstrate the item that we get for it. But yeah, having our ability to be healed in between rounds and the timer's not running is pretty much a lifesaver, especially if you want to use a magically based team. There is one tournament where you will get game over and you are not healed in between rounds. I will, of course, mention it when we get there, though. Oh! This guy! Oh! This guy. Hopefully you don't have auto-reflect. Please don't have auto-reflect. Demi. None of my guys are immune to Demi? Somebody hit it with Holy. He looks like he'll be weak to it. Don't bounce off. No! Flare? Oh. This battle is not going to go well, is it? This battle is not going to go well. I don't remember the name of this guy, so I can't really look him up at the moment. There's Absorb. Did that damage me? Or am I just seeing things? Flare. Okay, that should do some decent damage. Telekinesis, please work. Yay! I don't... Aw, come on! You lifted him up. That means it's supposed to work. Okay, that's just gonna keep healing. Well, Flare. How much HP does this guy have? Holy doesn't work. Well, there's Bio. We're both protected against that. But I like it when you waste your turn. Now, I wonder if this has a chance at working, and maybe it's just too heavy for that one to work. I'm not sure. Oh no, Absorb is damaging him. Okay, I kept seeing it backwards for some reason. I'm not sure why. Well, there's... Nice Chocobo. Do some healing. Don't cast Holy. He's immune to it. Yeah, the AI, it's none too bright. Certain times they do smart things, but other times they'll just sit there and do no damage for no real reason. Alright, I think we're gonna speed this up since my guys are being stupid. Okay, he's immune to pretty much everything except for Flare. So you cast Holy again. No, that's still not gonna work. Absorb. Okay, maybe he's using Absorb, and that's what I'm seeing. There we go, he died. Cool. So we made it through that one, and all we get is an Ether. Well, that was not particularly productive, but there's that, I guess. Alright. Wild Bird. There we go. Is this the last one? If we finish off this, this would be doubly useful. He used the Chocobo Feather to go fast. That would be really funny. Nope, didn't work. I thought it would be really funny, though. Chocobo, attack the other Chocobo! Cast Flare. Yeah, that's normally what my Flare does. Awesome. I like to see that. And we get Chocobo Feather for that. Your monsters can't use up your items. They can't use any items, as far as I know. Well, we got 2 things done really nicely in there. Another feed tail bonus. You got a Fiend Tail bonus. Good for you. We get the Abdominal Garment Grid, which is the prize for defeating Grand Cup hard the first time. Chocobo Cup is now being held. That's what unlocks if you have a Chocobo in your party and you face off against the wild bird. Well, since we've unlocked a couple more tournaments and because my guy is not quite up to level here, I'm going to fight a few more battles here before we call it a day. I'm not going to do the Chocobo one quite yet. We're just going to do some more of these just so that I can gain that last level, because once we get the last level for my the new guy that we got this time, we'll be able to evolve him into somebody else, and then I'll use that guy in between episodes to level him up and beat what's left of the Grand Cup hard. Okay, I might as well show this since I got something unique here. We got a Crimson Ring for being an enemy that looks like the Flame Dragon that I was using myself. There are more than one of those enemies in the Grand Cup hard though, because that's the second one in a row I faced. And for defeating it the second time, you're gonna love this. We get a Crimson Ring. And for defeating it the next time, let's see, what do we get here? More Fiend Tail things. We get a Snow Ring. And Cactor representative Eric and has entered the Grand Cup hard. Now, in order to fight them, you need a Cactuar in your party. You cannot catch one until Chapter 5, so don't worry about that. It unlocks another cup thing, but don't worry about it until Chapter 5. The interesting thing about this is even before we had Final Fantasy XIII that basically played itself, we've got this game that does play itself. Somehow I feel I'm not accomplishing anything anymore. Okay, we'll show this guy off here. Oh, damn. I was hoping he'd die. This was the Adamantoise or Adamantortoise enemy that I was talking about before. If you're fighting him with the Flame Dragon, you can only do physical against him. He just raises his defense over and over and over again. It takes forever to kill him. It's still going to take forever to kill him, even at 4 times speed, but at least now I have magic that can do quite a bit more damage. He's immune to that. Stop trying to use it. But, yeah. It's going to take a little while. I'm probably not going to demonstrate the rest. Stop using that! Yeah, I don't think I'm going to demonstrate the rest of it. It's just basically waiting. Or there's death too. That works. Okay, sweet God. If you run into this guy, you lose. This is the third round, well, not in a row, but the third time I've lost one of these tournaments because of things and stuff. The enemies that I was fighting in the first 3 attempts were all pretty easy. Not so much anymore. Alright, I believe this is the Machina Panzer enemy that I was talking about before. The one that was nice enough to drop me Crystal Banjals. Is he susceptible to that? That would be nice. No, of course not. Alright, let's just kill him then. Flare. Try telekinesis again. Fails again. Yeah, you can use Gatling gun. And he also has a big cannon attack, but he should be dead before he has a chance to use that, I would think. Oh yeah, Chocobo learned Meteor in a battle off-screen against an enemy that I'll probably show off if I run into him, because I wasn't really prepared to demonstrate it last time, and it just meant I died. But we'll be seeing them again before too long, don't you worry. They're going to be the bane of my existence. Now, did I get the Crystal Banjal? Yay! Look at that. Oh, you also got lots of money from them, too. And fuck my life. This is the guy I was just talking about. Mushroom Cloud! And thank God I have the ribbon on you. He has auto... Yeah, this was the guy I was thinking of when we ran into the Black Elemental last time. Or the guy that looked like a Black Elemental. Meteor. I believe that bypasses... It does. But he's got such huge magic defense that it doesn't matter. This is the fight that I learned Meteor in the first time. It's going to be the battle that I die in again. Because... yeah... there's not really much way of beating him. The mushroom you can kill with Flare and Holy and stuff like that. The Black Elemental, with this party, ain't gonna happen. If you run into it, you're pretty much screwed. Which is unfortunate, because I think this is 4 times in a row I failed to win this, would you stop killing yourself? That I failed to even survive. Why'd that do such little damage? Weird. Anyway, I will cut. There's no point in spending any more time in this fight than we need to. Okay, since I failed like 5 times to beat the next level, scrub it. Let's go to creature history here. Let's get to... actually, before we do that, I do want to show off one more thing. In Develop Creatures, if you go to the creature ability, we kind of learned this in the tutorial that we got for it. You can sacrifice these things to give permanent boosts to them if you want to. Yeah, I guess sacrificing something like an Iron Bangle is probably worthwhile. Not sure what that... oh, it increases... yeah, increases your HP by 1, and that's by 2. And that's by a few. But yeah, not really all that worth it, though I do have a lot of X potions now, so there's that. Let's see here. But more importantly, if you go over here, you can unlearn certain things and at least look to see what some of these abilities that you've got actually do. I learned Total Limit Break. I think he starts with Break Damage Limit, and then he can learn Total Limit Break. I'm not exactly sure how you learn things, but yeah, so that guards against all status. We learned Flare. Thanatos Emblem doesn't do a lot of damage, but it lowers all stats. It's actually quite useful, especially if you use it and then decide to use something else after the fact. So I have unequipped everything on my guy here, my mana guy. So he's unequipped. You can leave garment grids on him if you want. And we have, actually, I did level him up 5 times, right? Yeah, he's level 46. I got him at level 41. So once we release him here, we should be able to... my timer's not going... my timer is so far off at this point anyway, it doesn't even matter. Anyway, story complete. So let's release him now. Start it again. Yeah, this only happens for specific enemies. And this is involved in spawning specific cups. So let's see, we've got that first one there. Now we've got the second one. It's going to evolve into one more. And yeah, once it evolves this time, it'll be a level up. And I think it can evolve one more time. But in between episodes, I will be clearing out... yeah, so that's what we got this time. He has one more form before he stops evolving. But in the meantime, let's take a quick look at him over here. No, I want to... party members. Doesn't seem any more powerful, but there he is. Let's not give him that one. Let's give him what I had on him before. It seemed to be working relatively well for me, at least for a while. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. He still has Holy. He has Drain this time. He doesn't have Absorb. That could be a problem. That's rather unfortunate, actually. I got another Crystal Bangle or 2 off-screen when I was trying to win and failing miserably. So since that's the case, do I have anything that gives me Absorb? Okay, now, since we got a new upgraded version of him, he's a little bit different and he doesn't come with all the abilities he had before. So I was looking around and, wow, we get Flare from this. Now the thing is, you get put into a state, I think, based on what I've read, where you can only use black magic, so having the white magic in there isn't going to help me all that much, but it's going to reduce the cost dramatically. And look at the increase in magic stat from 122 to 202. So that might be a good idea. It's kind of risky. We'll try it. We'll see what that does. If I could give you something... Unfortunately, I don't have the black magic equivalent of the white signet, because that would be a really good thing to give to him. I just don't happen to have it yet. Okay, just taking a look around here, I found that Abominable, the new garment grid that we got for defeating it the first time, gives the ribbon ability to your guys here, so that's interesting. But anyway, I'm going to use these characters to go through and see if I can finish off learning all that I can in terms of beating the Grand Cup hard, and we might even move on to the Chocobo Cup if I still haven't gained the appropriate levels before we've gained 5 more levels, so we can send them off again. The next episode will continue with this a little bit, though I'm hoping we'll be most of the way through and at least be able to start up the next quest before moving on. We'll see, though. Anyway, that's pretty much all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.